Hi everyone, my name is Leo and this video is gonna be by far the nerdiest one I have ever done, and I have done pretty nerdy videos in the past, guys. We will perform the null test by frequency range, real Soldano versus NULL plugin used as a reference versus ToneX pedal versus Kemper. Let's start. Before jumping to the results, let me explain how this test works. First of all, the null test is a technique used to compare two sounds and to verify how close they are each to the other. The null test is based on the principle that if we play two sounds at the same time with one of them phase inverted, the lower is the resulting integrated LUFS, the more the two sounds are similar each to the other. Let's perform the null test Soldano versus NULL plugin to be considered as a reference, then Soldano versus ToneX pedal, and then Soldano versus Kemper. So the results are Soldano versus NULL plugin minus 30.6, Soldano versus ToneX pedal minus 34.9, Soldano versus Kemper minus 30.9. As I said, here the lower is the resulting LUFS, the more the sounds are close each to the other. Therefore, here the NULL plugin performs better than the ToneX pedal, which performs better than the Kemper. These are results we all know, as I have already done videos about these numbers previously. Now, in all my previous tests, I was performing the null test on the whole frequency range. I mean, without focusing on specific areas of the frequency spectrum. So here some questions may arise, as there could be some frequency ranges where maybe a unit performs better than the other, and maybe are those frequencies where the guitar tone is shaped prevalently. For instance, a unit can perform really well in the bass frequency, but worse in the mid-high, and the overall result may be better overall, even if maybe the mid-high frequencies are a bit more important for our overall guitar tone. So what can we do to have a better idea of where each unit performs better, and if the overall performance I have shown previously is respectful of the frequencies we are more interested in for our guitar? Well, we can do the null test by frequency. I have divided the frequency spectrum in 6 areas: bass from 50 to 250 Hz, mid-bass from 250 to 1K Hz, mid from 1000 to 2000 Hz, mid-high from 2000 to 4000, presence from 4000 to 6000, bright from 6000 up to 20K. And for each of these frequencies I have performed the null test, applying a low pass and high pass filter to the real Soldano and the unit I wanted to test. So for instance, let's check out the null test for the mid frequencies of the NULL plugin, the ToneX pedal and the Kemper. So, if we focus on the mid frequency, we have Kemper minus 39.3, ToneX pedal minus 42.7, NULL plugin minus 47.6. Now, I have done all these NULL tests for all the frequencies aforementioned, making 18 tests, a lot. And in this table we have the results. But to have even a better representation of the results, let's put the numbers in a graph. And here it is. Okay guys, now I really ask you to subscribe and ring the bell. It is free for you and it is super important for me. And these tests required me a lot of time. I think this graph is really interesting and quite surprising, I would say. First of all, the differences are lower in the bass and high frequencies, and especially in the bass frequency, the ToneX is really close to NULL. The second consideration is that starting from the mid bass, then the mid and finally mid high, the differences between NULL and the others become higher and higher. So NULL is becoming better and better. This tells me that NULL is not only better overall, but also in the most important frequencies for our guitar. It performs better and better than the other units. Finally, Kemper and the ToneX are closer in the mid-high and in the present frequency areas. All in all, the most important takeaway for me is that not only NULL is better overall, but even in the most important frequencies for our guitar. It performs better and better. Very interesting in my opinion. Okay, and now please let me know your precious and valuable opinions in the comment section below, and to which other units I should perform this test. And as this is the first time I'm making this kind of test, I mean this NULL test by frequency, please let me know if I have done some mistakes and how I can improve these tests.